See how this kind of glass?
The colored glass, you mean?
Yeah. I thought you on the around the window.
Around the plaster stuff.
Oh, at the top.
See, around corners the windows.
See how it's put into the cement?
The broken glass.
Well, no, I don't know anything about that. I don't even remember. I don't even remember. No, she suggested.
Gary said that the original architect put the glass right into.
Was it right in?
Yeah.
Oh, then
I don't remember because I was only just a little girl when I left it. I don't remember.
How long did you live here, Aunt Liz?
I don't know, 5 or 6 years, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't. But I walked right through the house. I remember
Every room,
every
really?
room and everything.
Well, let's hear it. Any questions? Tell us what each room.
Well, let's see now. To turn around. Let's start over here. Of course, this was just the entrance hall with a great big umbrella stand here. I don't know whatever happened to it. It disappeared, but that always stood there. And this was the dining room here.
That told me ceilings.
Are you taking?
Oh, at least.
Oh, what's my, oh, pardon me, there's somebody in there. This was the, come on, the rest of it says, there, this has been changed. There was a fireplace here, but I guess they took all the fireplaces down.
It's behind that bookcase.
Oh, is it still there?
Behind that bookcase.
Will it be renovated?
They're working on that.
This was a big fireplace, and always at Christmas time, there was a great big tree that went clear to the ceiling in there. And I can remember as a little girl from months before Christmas, laying on my belly trying to look underneath the door to see what my mother was doing, because this was always closed off. And she was sewing and working in here. And Uncle Joe, who was my mother's brother, was always Santa Claus, and he was dressed up accordingly. And they had the Christmas tree was lighted with candles, not electric lights, with candles, and it clipped right onto the branches. And he was reaching into it one time and caught us off. And I can just remember him rolling out on the lawn. But then my father went and had the next year, just out of the old cords, you know, that they had for electricity with 2 wires wound together and lights on the end of it. And they had electric lights on our tree after that.
Yeah, big step forward.
But this room seems so small to me now compared to what it was seemed then. Then I thought it was...
What years were this? 19 what?
I think that the paper said, and they told me last time I was here that the Star Free Press, the Courier, have papers that you can get. And they have some here that I think she might let you read.
No, I meant how old were you when this was going on?
I was born in 1906, but I was born right across from the plaza, where next to the old firehouse, between the firehouse and my dad's livery stable, is where I was born. And we evidently moved out there when I was very small.
Because you don't remember moving in.
Because I don't remember, but I just remember being there. That's
right.
The only place I remember being.
Oh, okay.
And I was probably 8 or 9 when we
left.
moved. When we left there and went to the ranch.
Okay.
And
Now this was on Perkins Road. I see.
this was out on Perkins Road is where it was. And
So who did the home belong to? Your
to my
family?
father.
To your,
Yeah.
okay.
The original owner was Perkins, and it was built for him by, I don't know, it's out in front there. Do you remember what it was?
The Danish architect,
Yeah, and he was the architect. But it was built for Perkins, for his family. And my father bought it from Perkins, and he sold it to Claiborne.
Claiborne.
Yeah.
So you were 8 years old when you moved into this house? How old were you when you lived in this house?
From, evidently from the time I was a year or so old, I must have.
Okay,
And until I was 8 or 9 years old.
so you were a small child.
Like this
Yeah.
size.
It was about like this.
Yeah,
Moving
This was
in.
her first house you remember.
this is the first house I remember, yes. And this was the dining room. And there was a big sideboard there and a sideboard there. And
Fireplace there.
a fireplace there, right? And this was a swinging door that went into the kitchen. And I still have a little picture, that hand-painted picture that was one of a chocolate set that either my mother painted or her painting teacher painted for her. And one of them, the hired girls, was going through the door with it in her hand, and the door swung, and the only thing that remained is the little picture. And I still remember that.
So what was this room then? That was
This
the
was the dining room, and that was the living room.
Oh, that was the
And
living room.
we can show you the kitchen down, go down, but this is closed off.
She has a question,
Yeah,
Liz.
Are you Mrs. Perkins?
No, I was a Rowe, and my father, Charlie Rowe, bought the place from Perkins.
Oh, I see.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much.
Look at this.
And
This is a dining
down
room.
this-
Yeah.
Not a nook.
Yeah, like ours.
Phone, a telephone, phone that was against the wall here, a big old wooden thing you've seen.
Oh, yeah.
Like that.
Like Lassie had.
That you crank.
Like
Right.
Lassie.
Do it. Of course, this was the dining there.
One long, two shorts.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's great.
This, my grandmother girl carrying my pictures.
Or not.
Colored
Oh, yeah. Oh, one, two already, see, one in the living room, one in the dining room. And there's more yet.
Oh, wow.
And this, there's another top. This was the kitchen, and again, I thought this was huge. There was a big old wood stove here, and a table I remember, that's all I remember. And we had Chinese cooks in those days. And this was a breakfast room back here. There was a big table in here. And I can remember one time, the Chinaman had long queues. They had the long queues. I remember one time my brother, I was just a little bit of a thing, and my brother had me talking to the Chinaman while he took the cue and tied it to the teacup. And then he tormented the Chinaman some way. And he got up and that cup just hit the store and went while he chased him. It's funny the things you remember about it.
Did he get in trouble?
Yeah,
He was always in trouble. And he kept me in trouble because I was 2.5 years younger than he was. And this was the back porch, and it was where there was an old, one of the first electric washing machines sat here that had the cogs on the side for the wringer. And I don't remember it, but as a little youngster, I was just able to reach, and I caught this hand in the cogs, and my fingers are all crooked as a result of it, but I don't remember it. And this door goes out to stairs going down to the basement.
What's that your place?
This was where the washing machine was.
Was it cold? Do you remember being cold in here? I bet it was cold. Big high ceiling.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
The kids never feel cold, I don't think.
Did she say these pieces were here at the time she was, or did you remember?
Right in here.
This has been changed. Did they come this way?
Yeah, Liz, what would have been You got the kitchen here, what's in between the kitchen and the dining room?
Nothing, there's just a past pantry
Is
there.
that it?
That swinging door that I told you about
Okay.
is right there, and there's just there's a little pantry in there where dishes and things used to sit.
Oh, okay.
Now this has been put in, I understand, this is a bathroom, it's been modernized. Our bathroom came from here and went in this way. And had the old high tub that stood up this high, you know,
On legs?
on legs.
With a claw?
On the claws. And this is out of the windows.
Oh, wonderful.
Wow.
Gee. So how tall is the ceiling?
About 12.
They must be 12 feet. Now, this was my mother and father's bedroom. And again, I thought this room was huge. And right here stood a great big old oak,
One is the bathroom, is not, one's
a great big oak wardrobe
Armoire.
that had 2 doors and drawers underneath it. And there was turnips, which we raised on the ranch. I just wouldn't eat. And I left almost every meal at the end, turnips, because I was supposed to clean my plate up. And punishment I used to get put in this closet. I used to have to sit in there. Well, I soon learned that it was fine because the Chinaman would bring me my dessert in there. So I never did learn to eat turnips.
Do you remember what you called the Chinaman? I mean, what his name was?
I can't. The only one I can remember was Guy. Because we had him for years. He worked for Donlin Brothers on the cook shack that went with the thrashing crew for thrashing beans, and they went all over and thrashed beans, and they had a cook shack and a Chinaman, and he would come to us when he wasn't with the cook group. And then he came to us on the ranch in Santa Ana also, but I can't remember. We also had Japanese cooks sometimes too. And they used to bring over Belgian girls from Belgium. And I don't know what the arrangement was or anything, but I know we had 3 Belgian girls at different times that helped in the house, that were maids and nursemaids and the like. And we had 3 different sisters. One came and she got married and she brought another sister over, and then another sister. And 1 or 2 of them still live around Ventura.
Did they live here in the house, or were there servants' quarters?
No, they lived in the house. Now, this was
As big as these places were they
is one of the grandchildren's now.
Yes.
I had an interesting dream about
And this,
Small child.
What is this?
this was the den.
They call it den?
It was a den.
Is that the one you guys used for?
Yeah, that was it. And in other words, it was like your TV rooms or
Family
your
room.
family rooms or something like that. And there was a library table in the middle and there was always a cot, I remember, because I remember when we would get sick with measles or chicken pox or something, this was where we always ended up instead of upstairs. And this was where we spent our evenings and all that, and we played in here as kids. And
Had
all.
video games and stuff?
Yeah, oh, video games.
Yeah, where did you put your TVs and
Yeah.
VCRs?
Yeah.
You had a brand new big screen TV there.
Was there a fireplace?
Fireplace there. A fireplace there. And this was just a big closet. It had shelves in it, and
This was a closet?
With the window in?
oh yeah.
When I use a 12-foot closet.
You come right around with it.
Like a dry cleaning thing where you could sit back.
Yeah, the doors are about to have all closed.
Yes.
The hardware.
Are you?
Yeah, it's great.
I love these windows.
Are these the original windows?
Oh, yeah.
That I could tell by they look sort of
I guess the glasses. I
Yeah.
don't know. Now, this, I think, this is the only thing I'm not sure on, but I think this must have been my bedroom when I was a little girl, because the other bedrooms are upstairs, and I'll explain that to you. But now there was a fireplace in here, and this went out, and I can remember my parents had a bed out here that in summertime weather that they sometimes slept out here. But now this was the spare bedroom. This was the bedroom.
So the front porch wasn't enclosed as it is now, was it? Okay.
When I was here before, I thought it wasn't, but I thought back, as I looked at pictures at home, it was enclosed.
But with the windows open at all, or no? The windows
I don't
open?
think so. I don't think they don't look like it. See, it was so cold in Wainemu all the time and windy and everything like that. But this was the spare bedroom. And then when we had company and the like, this is where they
Was there maybe a fireplace there, or do you?
wait, maybe, yes, there was a fireplace here also. So that's 1, 2,
One for every big room.
4, 5. There's 5, and that's what they said was in it, wasn't it? I'm glad you're here. He knows more about it than I do. So, and then here we work right back to the front door, and this I think was just a closet. Yeah, that was another closet. There were big closets.
Yeah, I noticed one of them.
Yeah, they're big.
This is probably a dumb question, but did they have like plumbing? What kind of plumbing did they have then?
Oh, we had indoor plumbing.
Really?
With the Johnnies that had the box
With the
above
chain?
the chain on
Yeah,
it.
but it was flush and all that.
And the bathtub.
Had hot water that you turned on the...
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay, so
We
you
had
didn't
water
have heater water?
But I lose you in.
ER plus KJ, is that what?
It wasn't even in the picture in those days. So, and I don't know whether are we allowed to go upstairs? Oh, okay.
On the stairs.
Where is the stairwell?
Go right through the door.
Oh, that's what that is. Oh. So it's from the living room. See, really, there wasn't like... You'd have to have 3 built-in drawers in the time. Oh, I know.
Yeah, we had training.
I know that got special permission
Yeah.
when I was here before.
Yeah, we used to let everybody go up there, but recently this private owner that has it put this sign there, they don't like.
Yeah.
They don't like the working up there.
Yeah.
Did you notice the woodwork around the
Yeah,
side?
do you remember that? From, yeah, look, I noticed it again going up the stairs. Like,
It's up the stairs.
Parquet
I noticed the baseboard.
What kind of wood is that? Mahogany?
Mahogany.
Yeah.
Some of it's old, I don't know what it is. Notice the doors, original doors, the
Yes.
doors on there.
The second floor, there was a remodel.
Huh?
The second floor was, they finished it off. Originally, it was just an attic space. They
Yeah,
finished it
I
off.
know it. That's what I noticed the first thing.
All of the second floor?
Yeah.
Okay, what she said.
No, I don't think so.
Oh,
You
yeah.
have that sign.
It is okay. We can authorize it. It's all right.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
have permission.
On site manager, it's okay. The city
Okay,
says
they
it's
just put
okay.
a sign down.
Yeah.
From last week I was here, they come here and they had the sign put
Yeah.
down. We rent from the owner.
Yeah, we're not live, no.
Notice, the little narrow thing in the corners of it.
This is what I noticed. You know, no dust. They don't have any.
Yeah, it's this.
I have to think they just call them houses.
You put the key in there.
Is that what it is? Yeah. You remember those?
She said they held the carpet down.
Pretty well preserved.
Yeah.
It was all carpet. Oh, cool.
It was?
The window seat.
It was carpeted?
Yeah. It was all carpet.
Short shag, right?
Oh, well, now this is... Look at these lit up.
I think that's what it is. These are window seats.
Well, who's
Now,
doing
this was the nursery
Oh.
and the playroom. Oh, And the playroom, we had our toys and things here, and we played. And this was the nursery, and
It's for a couple of days, I never find
yeah, and
Get some exercise. Hey.
See that?
Where was the original location?
well, Alan Robertson's road somewhere in Miami. This was your mother's room, and this was all gussied up just like she always was.
I was gonna say,
Like she always
Lace and
was.
magnolias or something.
and this was Grandma Marguerite's bedroom when she was little.
Oh, you think that's funny, do you?
That's pretty funny. Would she have a bunch of lace and perfume bottles in it and all kinds
Well,
of
see, she was only,
13 maybe?
13.
Yeah, I bet she had a lot of lace
Yeah.
and stuff.
Oh, yeah,
on
she-
it.
and her
shoes and
12,
hats.
she'd have only been like 11.
Well, I was
12
8
or
or 9, she's 5.5 years older than I was, yeah.
Were those windows in there?
Oh, yeah, And these, the window box was, had cushions on it.
Oh, of course, so that she could lay and read. Was she spoiled, huh?
What was out? Is this orchards or were there avocados or fields or?
In front, there was a great big lawn, I've got pictures you guys could see it. Great big lawn with a circle driveway and palm trees. And then over to the left of the house was a great big hedge all around, a big barbecue pit, grounds, where they used to have all of the Knights of Columbus and all of the different lodges and everybody. They used to have all their barbecues.
What color was the house? Or it was probably like all white or something? Or what color was the house, the
I
outside?
think very much like it is now. Isn't it back to where it was supposed to be the color outside?
No, they didn't do any, they didn't try to reproduce the original colors.
Oh,
But
they
it is multicolored as it was originally.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
so
like
it's white, yeah.
Yes, I remember.
Amanda, come here. You see how the windows go up? They're on ropes.
Yeah,
With big lead weights in there.
the big leather weights in
See how that's how the windows work. See, I think Grandma Margaret used to lay there and daydream. With her cup of
Look
tea.
at it. There's an
Call the Chinaman for a cup of tea and the Belgian maid for a waffle. Tea cookies. Oh, the closet must not have been nearly big enough for her.
Yeah, really.
Hardly hold two.
And this was down. What was the attic up in there?
So normally what
There must be gables or something.
There's gables up in there. You could see when you look.
Oh, so that's what it looked like?
What, up there?
What, no, like, what did the ceiling look like?
Just like this, exactly like it is.
Oh, but I thought, so it didn't look like that then?
Oh, no.
Oh, okay.
No. Yeah, I'll show you pretty soon what it looked like, or what the attic.
See, they
I
even
thought it was
put these,
unfinished.
these transom windows or whatever they call them.
Now, this was just a big linen closet. It's a great big deep.
That wasn't for Grandma's shoes?
No, that was when she got older.
Yeah, so they were.
Hi.
Twitched in between out here, it's good, I guess. Golly.
Imagine all the little hiding spaces.
I know.
Did you always play hide and seek?
Oh, gosh, yes.
How many times did you ever get lost in one of those windows?
Yeah, well,
In the window
Yeah.
box or something?
This window has been changed. It was a big window that opened out and was fastened at the bottom and opened out and had chains that held it.
Like a drawbridge?
Yeah, and, because I can remember as I would be supposed to be taking a nap in here and getting up and sitting in that window and looking out to see what was going on. So that has been changed, but as I think back, I thought maybe this was my bedroom, but I guess it wasn't. I think it must have been the maid's room.
And your bedroom was downstairs?
I think that little bedroom down there must have been mine.
Okay. You were the youngest?
Till just before we left here, my younger sister was born.
Oh, that's what you were wondering. Yeah, I was just wondering when she came in, I figured how she
Just
didn't have a
before we
room.
left here. But we had been going up to the ranch for a year or so before on weekends. So.
Is that Matilla?
Yeah.
Up at, yeah,
Yeah.
on our way then.
And
Too bad they sold it.
For about 10 grand.
I'm surprised that
Two horses and a good
stairway
wife.
at the bottom wasn't more.
the what?
It seems like they would have one of those kind of descending staircases or something instead of
Yeah, remember, this
tucked
was
away in the
a
corner.
remodel about 10 years after the house was built. Originally,
This is all
the
attic.
floor wasn't used.
Oh, okay, that's it.
Oh, okay.
Then,
What's that now?
now
The second floor was just an attic space. These dormers were all enlarged and had windows in them. And then this was finished off in the 1890s, about 10 years
So
ago.
10 years after
Really?
the
So for
original
a while, it
house.
was just a single story.
Well, with a large
With a
attic.
large attic, yeah.
But it was originally built, when was it originally built?
1885.
1885.
It's marbles and stuff.
Did you hear it was an attic?
The original house in 85.
Yeah.
This was just an attic storage.
this was just an attic. It was all unfinished. There was just the beams. This was a storage place. And we used to sometimes sneak up here and play. The door was kept locked, but we'd sneak up here and play sometimes, find a way in. And I remember, this again I thought was huge. I thought it was over the whole house. But there was one thing I remember that was stored up here was a great big wash tub. One of the great big round ones and it had, at the top had been welded on, and there were 3 holes cut in it for a 3-holer that my dad's friend, as a joke for him, when on one of their tin wedding anniversary, I guess it was, had this made and gave it to them for a present from the old. And I can remember it sitting up here in that thing. I don't know whatever happened to it.
Was there a staircase or any kind of a ladder that used to come through the ceiling down near the kitchen? Do you remember that?
I don't remember.
Okay.
But there could have been, now that you mention it. I have to think that way.
Know where this plywood is?
Yeah.
Right here, you may drop
Like,
that
what
ladder.
made you think that? Is there something in the kitchen?
Well, no, there wasn't. But Jim and Susan England, who lived here throughout the 80s, had a lot of weird things happen in this room. And they had someone come here and said that there was once a staircase here, and that one of the former ladies who lived in the house who had passed away was upset because that staircase had been sealed up. There's some strange things that used to happen in this room.
Ooh, that's
Oh, we used to cook up a lot. We used to think of a lot of strange things too that happened. But I don't know. They lived here in the 80s.
Yeah,
Because I was
So did you ever see any ghosts or anything here?
No, but my brother used to tell me there was.
Maybe you should believe it.
The night before Halloween, we had Richard Sennett here. He's a local psychic. And we took him into 3 of the homes here that we had heard stories about ghosts. And we took him in here. He was with a female psychic, and she...
The room that was that she said was the nursery, she said she had impressions of a young girl. And I don't think she got much in this room, though. And this is the room we really thought something would happen in.
Yeah.
We heard a lot of stories of
Ooh,
it.
interesting.
Well, has this been just done since they brought it in here? Or was it done before it came in?
You mean the drywall?
Yeah.
Yeah, you could just see the
Yeah,
shingles and
yeah, well,
the
that's-
rafters,
because
right?
that's-
And originally this was a closet and the door was over here. That's how I used to get in.
Well, yes, you're
Yeah,
right
they had
now.
to change it for...
That's right, the door was on this side, yeah, you're right.
I should share, while we're in this room, I have this idea for this house, so if any of you guys are interested, I think it would be a perfect bed and breakfast house.
Oh, yeah.
So if any of you guys are like millionaires or but I kind of see this this room is like a children's playroom for the guests. And once you see the rest of the upstairs and the bathroom, I mean, it would just be perfect.
Oh, I like the one.
Said it was like a spaceship for kids.
Yeah.
You know, if you
Yeah,
just
wouldn't it
rated
be fun to play here?
Would you have fun going around up here?
Yeah. Give me the bellhop. You could be the new Chinese chick.
So, I remember her, was there was obviously other brothers and sisters.
There was Don,
Pat, three girls. Oh, darn. He died.
He died before you were back.
Okay, that's what I remember. Natural?
Yeah.
That's all I remember. I remember the bathroom.
Oh, this was the bathroom?
This was the bathroom upstairs. And the one downstairs was just about like it. See, it was just about under it too.
So is this gold? What do you call it? Molding, I guess. Was that there? Is that old?
I imagine that's the original. I imagine it is. I wouldn't remember.
Is that a metal or a wood?
No, it's a wood.
I guess so.
We're talking murder stuff or?
No, people that lived here in the 80s didn't even use the second floor. They only used the first floor. And they had two different pinches of German Shepherd, and there were weird noises that were like windows and doors slamming. And the dogs would come running up and they usually just freeze at the landing, and they would normally do that. There was a old wooden ironing board that was in that room. It would be up or down, whatever day you came in. A light would come on automatically.
Okay, yeah, bizarre happening there, okay. And then how, crazy is, relative, I guess.
I think that's about it.
All right.
Now maybe we can go over to the Perkins House.
Sure.
Hey, Liz, stop for a second. You need a minute. Mom, are you in there? Denise, did you want? Yeah, Denise, that's fine, Denise. Denise, go ahead. Stick your head in word, Denise.
Would you like a picture of all of you, maybe on the front steps or something?
Oh, yeah, that's good. You know what?
Before the purchase? Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Okay, are we all out?
The steps or the other steps? The front steps or the front? The front, you want to do the front lid?
Well, no, we're on the downward side, but give us a tour. From Marsh, very down in our generation. Mom. Was it Pettit?
No, Grandma. No. Let's see. Who was it? Jim Donlin. Jim Donlin was your...
Jim and Tom were my cousins, and their mother was Annie Donlin. Two Pettit girls married two Donlin, but different Donlin families.
Your different Donlin
And
family.
then two Pettit.
Jesse married Paul.
Right.
And that was in our family. And Paul was my cousin.
And he was Mary's grandfather, the Mary that you know.